fight. Since you lost, what's up, Jake? Where you going, Jake? Oh, he's running! He's running! Look at him!
Gervonta Davis just shocked everyone by catching Jake Paul off guard with a punch outside Miami International Airport. No cameras, no ring, no rules, just real tension exploding in public. Witnesses were yelling, security ran in, and phones were recording from every angle. Two of boxing's biggest names, Tank and the Problem Child, nearly turned the airport into chaos. Now the big question is, what pushed Tank to that point?
After Canelo, obviously, didn't materialize, was the next one Tank?
Yeah, I mean, that was on the 1 yard line as well, but he has to rematch, Lamont Roach. He wants to get that back. And then we'll be back in discussions with Mr. Gervonta. But man, this is the nature of boxing. You have massive fights on the 1 yard line and things just fall through.
As you're watching it, he was a gigantic favorite, and this is on the heels of the Canelo thing. Are you like, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know, though, because I never really thought Tank was that good. It would just take the right fighter to pick him apart, to be honest. Someone who had high activity and wasn't afraid of his power. So I always saw so many holes in his game. So to me, it wasn't that surprising that someone finally gave him some good work.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195.
Oh, wow. So he would go all the way from 40 to 95?
Yeah, I mean, it would be an exhibition.
Okay. And so what does that mean? Is that 3-minute rounds?
Yeah, 10 3-minute rounds.
And when you say exhibition, what are the restrictions on that?
No restrictions, just the fact that we couldn't actually get it professionally sanctioned.
Okay. Is that still of interest to you? If he wins the rematch and you beat Julio, is that of great interest to you later this year?
For sure.
This beef runs way deeper than it seems. From brutal trash talk and contract drama to leaked private DMs, this wasn't just some random scuffle, it was personal. And it could be the beginning of a rivalry no one expected. What's happening now feels like a real-life Netflix boxing drama, with behind-the-scenes footage, secret agendas, and major consequences for both fighters' upcoming matches. Believe it or not, this chaos didn't come out of nowhere. The tension between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis has been quietly brewing in the boxing world for months.
Who were you going to call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
This time, Jake picked the wrong target. Gervonta Davis isn't one of those flashy names Jake usually calls out. He doesn't play into the gimmicks or chase clout online. Tank is built differently, molded by real-life struggles, real fights, and real consequences.
Tank Davis. Bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. Back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer. George was a puncher. Ernest Shavers was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in.
Yeah, he fights to the level of his competition.
Yes,
he was doing that a lot.
And he got to be careful of that.
2 fights ago, he was really doing that.
You feel me? So you got to be careful of that, because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate them, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you got to be careful of. Other than that, Tank is a really good fighter.
When Jake mocked Tank's legal issues and called him a walking headline, it crossed a line. That jab hit deeper than just trash talk. It got personal, and Tank didn't take it lightly.
Baltimore native and boxing champ Gervonta "Tank" Davis is sent to jail less than a month after he was ordered to serve 3 months of home detention. He was taken into custody after an impromptu hearing yesterday, and now he will finish his 90-day sentence in the Baltimore City jail. Deputies say Davis violated the terms of his home detention sentence in a 2020 hit-and-run crash. He said his home was too small, so he moved to the Four Seasons Hotel, but did not get permission from the judge. He received his 90-day sentence after pleading guilty in February to a crash that injured 4 people.
And when Jake started throwing shots about Tank's fallout with Floyd Mayweather, saying he's just another name stuck in Floyd's shadow, that's when it officially crossed the line.
Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood.
Tank kept quiet in public, but behind the scenes, he was paying attention, waiting, letting the tension build. Fast forward to Miami International Airport. Gervonta had just landed for a private team meeting ahead of his rematch with Lamont Roach. Jake, fresh off a business trip, was still riding the wave from his controversial exhibition win over Mike Tyson.
What's going on?
What's up, Floyd?
I can have what I want.
What you mean with the camera? Oh, you got camera too. So what you supposed to be?
The second they locked eyes, it was like 2 live grenades in the same room. Witnesses said the tension hit instantly. No words, no handshake, just straight hostility. Then it happened. Tank stepped in with that trademark speed that's made him one of boxing's most feared punchers. Jake. He got hit with the same kind of shot that dropped Frank Martin. But this time, there was no ring, just pure chaos. The internet exploded. Fans went into a frenzy. Some said Jake had it coming after months of running his mouth, while others felt Tank went too far and should have handled it in the ring, not at an airport.
Oh, left top to top. That's it. Goes Martin! Mamma mia! 6.
The internet went into a meltdown. People couldn't believe what they saw. Some fans said Jake had it coming after running his mouth for months, while others felt Gervonta crossed the line and should have settled things in the ring instead.
All right, Jake, I'm filming.
So guys, I'm in the hospital. I had an accident. I'm still gonna be able to fight August 6th. So get your tickets at msg.com before they sell out. But I broke my back carrying the promotion for this event. It's broken.
Oh, Jake, you good?
Nurse!
Jake,
Nurse, more morphine!
Oh my God.
I broke my back carrying the last 5 fights promotion. My opponents never sell shit. Oh, it hurts!
Do something.
It hurts! These motherfuckers never sell shit! They couldn't sell a pen to—
So what really made Gervonta snap? Let's be real, Tank's been under a ton of pressure. From his messy split with longtime coach Calvin Ford, to trying to prove himself without Floyd Mayweather in his corner, plus the federal raids and non-stop legal drama, his life's been chaos. And Jake. He stands for everything Tank can't stand about modern boxing. Viral fame, fake hype, and massive paydays without putting in the real work.
Called Paul clown following the Tyson fight. Tell us, exactly why expound on that.
Cause why would he even want to fight him? And who told Mike Tyson to fight anyway?
Do you think that it might have tarnished Mike's legacy in a way?
Yeah, they did. They definitely did. Put some money.
Jake's win over Mike Tyson in July only added fuel to the fire. Tank wasn't impressed at all with Jake stepping into the ring against a legend who's almost 60. So when Jake made jokes about Tank's personal struggles, his mentor problems, and even his time behind bars, it wasn't just trash talk, it was salt on the wound. That punch in Miami wasn't about showboating, it was Tank standing up and demanding respect.
Do you think that it's fair to call them boxers now? We talk about Logan Brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. And he tried to knock him out for sure.
But not everyone buys the drama. More and more fans believe the airport showdown was staged, A calculated move to hype up what's now officially set, Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul this November.
It's not a terrible fight. You know, we know that Gervonta's going to fight Jake Paul in November, and then we'll see what happens.
Eddie Hearn broke the big news, confirming the fight is locked in, right after Tank handles Lamont Roach in August. For a lot of people, the timing feels too perfect. That viral airport punch looked a bit too clean, and the quiet from both camps seems suspiciously planned.
I gotta ask you, how real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
Both fighters are famous for chasing headlines, so many believe this was a carefully crafted stunt to grab attention and boost pay-per-view numbers. Let's be honest, this fight doesn't really fit into Tank's career plan.
This might be the worst thing that ever happened in the history of humanity. Jake Paul is set to fight Gervonta Tank Davis in November. This is ridiculous. First of all, Tank, I know you're known for not taking the hardest fights, but you at least fight actual boxers. What are you doing? You know, besides getting that bag. Second, Jake, why are you doing this? You're a bad person. Let's ignore the fact that I have personally watched this man rob a P.F. Chang's. Let's talk about his refusal to fight real boxers. He gets criticized for refusing to fight real boxers, so he fights Mike Tyson, a 60-year-old boxer. He gets criticized for fighting a 60-year-old boxer, so he fights a current championship boxer who is literally 100 pounds lighter than him. Tank Davis is a lightweight, 135 pounds. Jake Paul is a cruiserweight, 235 pounds. You're never beating this fraud allegation, Jake, so why are you doing this? What do you guys think of this fight? And don't tell me anything good. Say it in the...
Let's say Tank beats Lamont Roach in August. No drama, just a clear win. The comeback is real, critics stay silent, and Tank's unstoppable again. You'd think his next move would be Shakur Stevenson or a rematch with Devin Haney. But no, he's chasing a big payday with a YouTuber instead.
We wanted the Loma fight when it was in its prime. Him and Mayweather, their team just, they just danced around it. When we wanted the Devin fight for Undisputed, the belts don't matter. I could just give them to my kids because everybody's winning belts. Shakur, he's easy work, he's boring, but you don't want to unify against him. Keyshawn might have a chance. You feel me? It's just disgusting. We wanted the Bud fight too after he called him out, and we also would have took a Teofimo Lopez fight. But then his fans would say, oh, but they're too big. They're not in his weight class. What the fuck is Jake Paul? This is the bullshit I be talking about. Like, this shit does nothing for the sport of boxing, but in terms of the division of 135, it doesn't do jack shit.
Now, flip it. Imagine Tank loses to Roach. That's 2 losses in a row. And honestly, Roach almost won the first fight. If the ref had counted that knockdown, everything could have changed. If Tank stumbles again in the rematch, all the hype for a fight with Jake Paul fades. Who's really interested in watching a guy fresh off a loss to Lamont Roach step into the ring with Jake?
Didn't say you got your eye on Tank. What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove.
It would come off as a desperate move, like someone who's done facing real challengers and is just after an easy payday.
What you think of former athletes and celebrities like Jake Paul taking up boxing? You think that grows the sport?
If he's doing it for the right reason, actually want to do it because of just like actually want to box, it's cool. But if he's doing it for like the wrong reason, just to get the hype and stuff like that, I feel as though it's trash. Sometimes people get bored at what they doing, and they want to try other stuff. Got to be mentally tough to be able to box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
For sure. That's all I got. Thank you, bro.
Sure. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Honestly, that's exactly what a lot of people are thinking. Tank's been talking about retirement and even said that boxing feels boring to him now.
Are you retiring? Are you
losing the love? What changed? What made you trash? Garbage.
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
I'm out of it.
Gervonta, something should have happened during this time, because when we saw you when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything?
Fed up with
Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard Edelby usually they're around to?
You think you might regain the love for it though? You never know. Like like you said, you got to squawk today.
Here's the kicker. Tank was seen smoking right in the middle of training camp, and this was the camp for his fight with Lamont Roach. No wonder he almost got knocked down.
It's been to the streets. I know you ain't focused. Tighten up.
That's why I got everybody out of there. That's why I got everybody out of there. Can they see my page again?
He completely cut ties with Calvin Ford, the only coach who's been by his side since day one.
Something is definitely going on between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis. Now, we all seen that knockdown in the 9th round, but what you probably didn't see is what happened after that in between rounds. Check this out. Coach Barry Hunter trained Tank for this fight with Lamont Roach, not Calvin Ford. A lot of people were saying that this performance has something to do with that. So, is something really going on between Calvin Ford and Tank Davis? Check out what Tank had to say.
No, I wasn't really paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean? I was more so... It's something we gotta work on in the corner, for sure.
Lately, everything Tank does screams that he's finished with boxing. So why agree to fight Jake Paul? It's simple, money. Tank isn't focused on winning belts anymore. He's focused on making big cash. And Jake, with all his noise, brings in views, attention, and most importantly, huge paychecks.
True that you made $170 million from this fight?
I made a lot of money, the most money I've made ever.
60 million households, Jake.
250 million people. Bro, that is... It's all downhill from here.
No, for sure.
I peaked.
Jake's fight with Tyson smashed Netflix streaming records. If Netflix backs Tank's fight too, we're looking at a payday north of $50 million. Way more than Tank would earn facing Shakur and Haney combined.
Is it true that you made $170 million from this fight?
I made a lot of money, the most money I've made ever.
60 million households, Jake.
250 million people. Bro, that is so... It's all downhill from here.
No, for sure.
I peaked.
Before Tank even thinks about Jake Paul, he has to get past Lamont Roach first, and that won't be an easy win. Their first fight was intense, especially in round 9 when Roach landed a body shot that looked like a clear knockdown, but the ref called it a slip. Fans were furious, convinced Roach got robbed. Now, with the rematch set for August, Roach is coming in hungry and fired up. Tank can't afford to underestimate him. One mistake, and the Jake Paul fight could be off the table for good.
You live and you learn. I definitely could have... That was on me too. That was on me for sure. Because I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up. Could have definitely did more. He caught me with a good shot, but it was times that I sat in there with him and I'm like, damn, this guy like super slow. Well, not super slow, but he's slow, and I could have took advantage of the moments. But I think I was boxing too much in the beginning, and when I felt like he was slow, it was just. Relate down the line type of thing, but I should have pressed the issue. I could have stopped him. It's me. Definitely my fault.
Fans are buzzing about the Tank versus Jake showdown, but first, let's take a moment to appreciate how wild this really is. Jake Paul just announced he's stepping into the ring at 195 pounds. That's basically heavyweight territory.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You could knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds? to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something. I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you were saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis fights at 135 pounds and has never looked comfortable even at 140. That's 6 full weight classes difference. It's like asking a pit bull to go up against a bear. How does that add up? It gets crazier. This so-called exhibition has no headgear, no judges, no scoring, but full power knockouts are allowed. Basically, Tank stepping into a street fight with a guy built like a linebacker.
Yeah, no, we're working on it behind the scenes to make that happen, and obviously that's a fight where the fans are going to win, and it's going to be the biggest event of the year.
What weight would you fight him at?
We're working on it, but it'd be an exhibition most likely.
That's it for today's video. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our new content. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.